got the minute. Hi, folks.
Five. Dale is sick, so he won't be here.
Do we even know from his position or not for his mom?
I didn't check with his mom, but he sounded pretty sick over the email.
That's just all right. We have a full agenda tonight. It's AZ's fault.
Oh, geez.
She's mad at us. I don't know why.
It's the economy.
It's the economy's stupid. All right, meeting could come to order. This is the April 14, 2026 DRB meeting, Bristol Development Review Board. First order of business, any items for the agenda? Okay, first item up, we haven't done our organizational
Meeting.
well, it's not, I don't know that it's actually a requirement anywhere, but it makes sense to do, but so we haven't revisited for 3 or 4 years the chair, and I don't know that well, Tom Wells was vice chair, and Tom's been off the board for a couple of years maybe. And for some reason, our bylaws say that the secretary shall sign off on the survey plats, the Mylars that act as sign once we approve a subdivision and it comes in for reporting. And neither of us know why it says that. We don't have a secretary. So now, we're gonna vote for one. So
and I know
and AZ has been campaigning very hard.
Yeah, been at the office supply store.
Very persuasive. I've got the sign on my front yard. To vote for AZ for secretary for DRB.
It's a good salary.
Oh, well,
Pennies on the dollar, actually.
but it's a resume builder. You
Mhm.
know, so. Okay, so I've been chair forever. Willing to continue. Somebody else is dying to do it. That's fine too. Be forewarned. It's a lot of work. Outside of the meetings, writing the decisions takes a lot of time. And getting ready for the meetings takes not as much time, but sometimes. So if anybody else wants to sit in the seat, let me know. Seeing no hands.
I'll second your application for chair.
Okay. Any further discussion?
No.
All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
Vice chair. Pon's vacancy. AZ and I kicked it around a little bit and talked to Rebecca a bit, and Rebecca's willing to take the position, and primarily it's if I can't be here, then Rebecca would run the meeting, and anyway, I think she'd be great.
And we've had other people do the meetings as well. AZ
Yeah.
is here too.
Yeah.
Can I second that as well?
You can. Any further discussion about Rebecca being appointed vice chair? All those in favor? Aye.
Was that?
Yeah.
You vote for yourself.
You already wrote, I don't have.
So,
What?
the reality is, although we've never bestowed the title of secretary on any person, AZ's been this, the secretary does administrative stuff, prepares the agenda, gets the minutes to us, all that stuff. But the only official duty that the secretary has that we don't have staff is to sign these Mylars. And next time the planning commission comes up with amendments to the zoning bylaws, my hope plan is that requirement gets stricken because it's needless. It just makes just to make work and some people, some developers, applicants stamp it on the Mylar with that signature, some do not. So because it's so unusual, I think our ordinance is unusual in that respect with its language, so.
Yeah, ours requires it, but it's funny because it's printed with the signature block all on one page. And then you go to the next page and it just says secretary.
So anyway, I nominate AZ for secretary and I have not received any gratuities or influences outside of this meeting. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right.
Great.
AZ is secretary.
Yay.
Did you want to ask a question?
I did want to ask a question.
Sure. What's up?
So there's question of curiosity, the fact that you're a town employee, does that in any way create any conflict as a representative of the board by signing the?
Well-
That's the only question.
No, I don't think so. You know, it
None of
doesn't,
Thank you.
it doesn't
Yeah.
say anything, you know, there's no guidance
I
about.
can't
this.
be on the DRB, but the secretary isn't a voting member. It's the administrative
It's
role.
just administrative, yeah,
Yeah.
no, it's a good question. There's no, like I said, it's kind of an aberration to actually have to have one. And the reality is AZ is the de facto secretary anyway, so that is just makes it
Oh, well,
official.
the numbers are conflict.
No,
Mm-mm.
And we also have a recording secretary whom we never see.
Yes, Carol Chamberlain.
true. Okay, so did we vote for AZ?
Yes.
Oh,
Okay, we did. All right, come get your campaign sign off my front lawn, okay?
Yeah, it's actually been, it's getting up on it's gonna be a violation soon.
Oh, yeah, well,
The si-
then now there's the conflict.
Mm.
Okay, first order of business, continuation of permit 26 -502, Michael Brown on behalf of the Federated Church of North Street. Parcel 235028, requesting approval for an LED sign, subject to UDR section 747, well, more than that, 740 and 747 primarily. So, Michael, you here? Where are you? There you are. Behind me. Behind me. So you said, we gave you homework and you've come with additional information, I gather.
Gave it to AG,
Okay,
and he's been communicating with Colin regularly. Email.
it's so we've got the,
It's this one. And the other,
where does that go with?
uh,
You have a standalone?
oh, it's with emails too, but I didn't print out the emails. I can print them out.
Has everybody seen these? Or you need, huh? No, all right, so let's take a look.
These are for the funk application, the last application.
That's the flood.
Yes.
Did Kyle sign off on that?
Yes.
Oh. So is this all we have?
That's
for
also the
supplemental?
flood. I'll pull up the emails. I just,
Yeah, just so that maybe you can,
That's in there.
maybe you can put them in the record.
yeah,
The one?
yeah. They're in the application record. Yeah, this is one and done.
Okay,
Yeah, and there you can sign it.
yeah, that's a good idea. Raise your right hand, please. Do you solemnly swear that the evidence you shall give before this development review board shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Thank you. Thank you, Ted. Okay, so
You should be third chairman.
we've got,
We just need a vice head, it's not fair.
we have an email from Colin Lane that'll, we'll make part of the record as well, dated April 3rd. Addressed to zoning, I guess that's AZ.
Yep. And sometimes it's Chris Purley, depending on.
Yeah. Okay, so we got it says,
This might be another one here, but you said you.
can you put it,
Yep.
up on the screen?
Yep.
So it says 25.2 inches by 62.99 inches, 11.02 square feet. And I'm taking it that's the illuminated portion of the sign.
Mhm.
The display can achieve a maximum brightness of 10,000 nits. I don't know what that is.
It's a So I learned a lot about LED lights.
Oh, show off.
So
Yeah.
LEDs are not the same as a traditional light where they use lumens. LEDs
Right.
use nits, which is based on the pixels that make up each square of the LED sign. And those little squares, depending on how many points of light or depending on the size of the pitch, increases or decreases the amount of brightness. So 10,000 nits is not gonna necessarily translate perfectly to like a lumens of a light. And that's why the handout of the brightness explained kind of talks about the difference between nits and LED brightness. And they use candlesticks, which also boggles my mind on why we're using
Foot
candles
Yeah, that's
with
old.
LEDs, but
Is that what a CD is? I see one nit equals one CD per square meter. I'm wondering what CD actually refers to.
CD, I believe, is the
Bella.
candela per square meter.
Yeah, so it must,
And,
Oh.
okay, so. And one foot candle is denoted by FCs. Okay, so it's a candela per meter squared. These references aren't, they're outside our common backgrounds, I think, but they are what they are. All right, so you need 5,000 nits to compete with the sun. I don't think we want to do that. Candle per square meter measures the light properties radiated from 1 meter square surface, providing a technical frame of reference for displays black level, peak brightness, and grayscale performance. And
I also essentially learned that like the type of device also determines the nits. Like your phone has a really high nit because the different areas that it's displaying in are gonna be different than if like your TV, which would have less nits because it's not necessarily gonna be in the sunshine and then in the dark and then in the da da da. So your TV might seem really bright, but the nits are gonna be much less than what your phone would have. Yeah,
it's like you're watching TV, the sun comes in your room, it's hard to see that TV.
exactly, because it can't automatically change its brightness.
She's got a full blind down for it.
Yeah.
Hey, Z, I have a question on the email from Colin.
Which one?
April 3.
Yeah, April 3. It's about 2/3 of the way down the page towards the bottom, second or third paragraph up the bottom. It talks about the automatic adjustment to account for the ambient lighting.
Mm-hmm.
So the way I guess I'm interpreting that is there's a light sensor on it, and
There's a,
so sun's really bright, it adjusts. Conversely, at night then, is it going to go all the way down?
I mean, that's up to the controller of the light sensor.
Well, this says it's automatic, so, but you can set a
but you can
range.
bypass it too, if you have to. You don't want that certain brightness. Whatever you want, specifications, you can adjust it down to that level.
If a car with its headlights went on past it, would it brighten up and then it would get darker?
I don't think so. Probably be on top of the board. It wouldn't be pointing at the
Not that
headlights. No, it should be on top.
The sensor is more for daylight, nighttime. So in the bright sun, it would increase its brightness. And then as the evening decreases in sunlight, the sign's not going to still be at that same brightness as it was for noon.
If the sun is shining on it, it'll be brighter. Then as the sun goes down, it gets dimmer.
Doesn't need as much brightness to be seen. Sounds like. So you use more nits during the day when you need to overcome the ambient brightness of the daylight. And, okay, well, this is all illuminating.
I'm nominating you for class clown.
Okay, um, so this gives us information, we had a pretty extensive discussion about Willie's thoughts about the change of the display, how quickly, whether they do flashing, those kinds of things. This is, thank you for giving us the extra information. It's
Yeah.
not, it's not information that I, no, I know, it's not information that I have already placed in my head to just hang and say, oh, that's.
It's just like Mount Eight, that's how it rotates. Right?
Mhm.
It's not like a fan.
Right,
It
right.
just feels.
No, you can change the.
Yeah. You can change it.
Sorry, was this VR or VM?
We're in
Looking
HDR.
at flashing lights.
HDR?
Mhm. Yeah, we're HDR, so, does anybody have any questions for Michael?
My main concerns are that it's so much larger than the standard. And another one is that we don't know how far the light, there's a thing in the, regulations about not shining on neighboring properties.
Mhm.
And there's also a thing for if it's on if it's on the ground, that would be 40 feet back from the center of the levee.
I think
And I
that's what it
don't-
was.
And I don't know
I
if,
can't remember.
I don't know if any of them apply here. Also, I don't know how we are going to define legacy light if we are going to do so. So I have two
You mean
other
landmark
concerns.
sign?
Legacy signs, yeah.
Landmark sign.
Landmark.
We don't, yeah, we don't, well. I don't know that we need to. I was kind of thinking what that might mean, you know, like, I don't know why it's an ordinance, but, and I'm not, other than Lord's Prayer Rock, I'm not sure what a landmark sign in the town would be, but you could think of things that were sort of iconic signs for the past that everybody knew, like the Calby's ice cream sign in Middlebury used to be, or like a marquee on a theater, you know, where they've had some of historical unique significance. That's what it would mean to me. Of course, you know, it's not defined as we discussed. Sort of typical rye board rectangular sign. In my mind, isn't a landmark, even if it's been there a while. They're pretty commonplace, but it's strange to have a term in quotes that the ordinance does not define, but there we are. But we don't actually have to make that determination, can if we want, and but it's not a requirement for our analysis.
But if we don't follow the other regulations, we could use that as an excuse.
Well, if it only gets you, well, it's kind of, it allows a waiver of dimensional or other requirements. Does that mean anything? Maybe, don't know. It's
Maybe
not,
Real sounds is right.
my thought board is, that we have a very full agenda, and I prefer if you folks think it makes sense to defer this to a deliberative session at the end when we get all these other applications done with for tonight, then we can talk about it. And you know, not at our leisure, but if we can talk about it, it's, you know, it's a new item for us, we haven't had to wrestle with this one before. And I want to, you know, I always feel the pressure of the other applications and the other folks sitting here as we're trying to make a decision, so. I'd like to.
That's a good idea, Ted, and I'll second that.
Okay, so we'll bump this for a deliberative session at the end of, well, let's vote. To bump this into deliberative session at the end of the meeting tonight when all the other applications are taken care of.
We
But
want
I
to-
would like to know if Mike has any other comments that he wants us to know
Any other
about.
questions that I hope
No.
I can answer? or-
No, I thought I asked them, but yeah, if you have anything else to share.
Well, would you, of course, I don't know what the questions you got in your mind that you're, the distance, 33 feet maybe to 100 feet.
Except for me, yeah.
I don't know.
Well, you know, it would be in the same place where the sign is now, correct?
Correct.
Yes,
And it's smaller than what's
Yeah.
there.
yeah.
Although it's a 4x6.
Mhm.
This would be a 3x5.
Mhm.
It's not a 3.5 pedestal.
Anything else for Michael? Okay, all those in favor of having deliberative session at the end of tonight's business? All right, 5-0. Thanks, Michael.
You don't
We'll,
need names,
Nope.
right?
no, we'll, you go into deliberative session, we'll come out, if we have a decision, we'll announce it publicly, but you don't have to be there for that, AC, we'll let you know.
Okay.
All right,
Thank you.
thank you.
Thank you all.
Thank you, Mike.
Thanks for the extra information. Not that I understood it.
Enough for you. Some of that stuff.
Is there a
Well,
is there
yeah.
is there a test? I hope not.
Don't get me on
All right,
that. Don't know that else for 3 hours.
second item.
Good luck, people.
Thank you. Second item up is permit number 25-407 Bunny's Pond LLC, Moncton Road. Parcel 030-168.3, requesting final plat review, 2-lot subdivision. Hi, folks.
Nice. You need all this.
What do you got first?
I will take that back. Well, I mean, this is paperwork for you to keep. Oh, this is the, oh, yes. Okay, wait, no, I need this.
Yeah.
Thank
This
you.
is it, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
it's just a,
Okay.
it's a scan of a much larger plat, so
Yeah,
the print comes out a little funky.
okay. So raise your right hand, folks. You solemnly swear that the evidence you shall give before this development review board shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
It is.
Thank you. Okay, so when we were here last, when were these folks in?
January
Yeah.
27th,
February, wasn't
February.
So I don't have those minutes in front of
it?
me, but
Um,
your summary. Put that away.
It's a way back because it's one I missed because of I couldn't get on the,
Suddenly, you can't find your.
my little
your summary.
report.
Yeah, we're,
Yeah.
I don't know.
No.
You were not.
I was not, the reason I was not was I couldn't work with Zoom on my older iPad. So, and that was approximately December. You remember when you were here?
I thought it was March.
No.
no, it's March.
What month is this? Is this April?
This is April.
I'm pretty darn certain it was January 27th, but it might have been February 10th.
I'll pull up your report, AZ.
Okay.
What is it? Remind us what we told these good folks to do for
Yeah,
us in the
it was
interim.
127.
127? Dang, yeah.
Yep.
You're right.
Nope, wrong report.
What did I do with that?
I know it was access and it was building envelope, or turnaround and building envelope.
Right.
Turnaround is the only one I have written down.
Yep, and building envelope. Oh, and to properly get the lines, because at sketch, you just had,
Right.
you had the third line with a little squiggle through it.
Yeah.
You love it.
Yeah, I think.
Okay, so we've got lot one, lot one is where your house is, right?
Correct.
And that's 15.3 acres. You're carving off lot two, which would be 5.1 acres, which satisfies the minimum lot size. Are we in RA5?
Mhm.
So you've got an existing driveway, we've got a proposed emergency vehicle turnaround. And we have something from the fire chief to bless that,
Yes.
what's he say?
The usual. I don't
Or does it hook up with what they've drawn here?
What do we say outside of?
Because didn't.
What are we looking at?
The turnaround?
Yeah,
Yeah, it's right there.
Yeah. So that's what those came up with?
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah, Brett and Kevin.
is the assumption kind of that if someone were to build on this lot, they'd probably use that turnaround as the start of their driveway?
Yeah.
so that's the building envelope depicted there. 40 foot, looks like 40 foot proposed emergency vehicle turnaround. Right of way is 35 foot right of way. Centered down the existing driveway. So the deed to lot two will need to convey and reserve an easement. When you need to reserve an easement over the lot so that you can get to lot one. Okay. That pond. Does that cover everything that we wanted them to address?
Yeah, it was building envelope that showed the setbacks, getting the lot lines correct, and turnaround / access right away.
So what was the lot line issue?
The sketch plan had a
There was another proposed lot
That
that
was
we
still
originally
on there,
had.
that was still on there.
Yeah,
okay.
we just had it crossed.
yeah, and it was just squiggled out for sketch plan, which is
Oh, that's fine.
totally fine.
Yep. Okay, so we have, those, okay, so this is a plan, done by Ron LaRose, and down at the bottom it says it's revised March 3rd, 2026.
Mhm.
So that'll be the, plat reference. Because I saw August 19th, 2021 over there.
Yeah. The original.
Yeah, so that should come off, I think. I mean, but, these competing dates, just, let's do that, right, AZ?
Yeah,
I mean, that'll just confuse people later on. Any questions for these folks?
So the 35 foot wide right of way gives you access to work on the road, is that it? Is it?
We require,
That's a fire thing. That's a fire thing. Yeah.
it's also in our ordinance, right?
Mhm.
We have to,
Okay.
because lot one won't have frontage on
Mhm.
the road anymore, so the right of way, which is just the corridor, not the
Mhm.
travel, not the travel way, it needs to be 35 feet wide. Did the chief want anything else with respect to the road?
didn't make anything known.
Okay,
Just
any other
tear.
questions from anyone?
No.
All right, I'll move that we approve the revised survey plat, and it's dated March 3rd, 2026, from Ron LaRose. And we will be subject to the conditions that it's, of course, you have to construct the turnaround according to the plan, but 35 foot right of way with, access easement provided to lot one when lot two is conveyed. Anybody think of anything else that we need to put on here?
Do we have some measurements on the turnaround?
It says 40
Should
foot.
be on there.
It says 40 feet.
Oh, all right, then, all right. Okay, I got it. I trust you.
Helpful.
Darn right it is.
You can run us, honey.
I know, I love these things. Oh,
Well, we didn't get two before.
Anything else?
Not quite yet.
No, I don't think so. It's pretty simple.
Soon.
Yeah,
Just the easement as a condition.
yeah, 35 feet and the lot one needs to have a easement over, access easement over lot 2 and lot 2 is conveyed. All those in favor?
Okay.
Okay, 5-0. Good to go, folks.
Thank you.
So, well, and,
We do want to get that removed.
yeah, get
And resubmit.
If the trust doesn't own it, right? Or you-
No, it's an
So let's-
LLC now.
Yeah, let's just get that, the lower, and put that in as a condition. We'll get that lower right-hand corner
Okay.
revised to reflect current ownership and that'll just help us down the road.
Absolutely. Thank
Avoid
you.
conditions. But that's around that. Well, when we get the decision, make sure you give it to Ron. So that he,
Okay. Yeah, we have. I'm sure. We have several.
yeah, they have it as placemat. you can-
Yeah, I know.
Christmas
Life
gifts.
size.
Yeah.
All
Okay,
right,
folks.
so we're all
Thank
set.
you very much.
Thanks.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Have a good night, you guys.
Have a good night. Thank you. I'll follow up. Yeah.
All right.
On to the next.
Permit number 25-404, Randy Russell. North 116 Road Parcel 070101. Final plat review for 2 subdivisions, a 6-lot subdivision, which is on the east side of 116. And a 2-lot subdivision, which is a minor, and that's on the west side of 116. Oh,
Mouthful,
Yeah.
huh?
okay, so I want to make sure we reference the actual plan we're looking at.
You swear, man?
Yeah. Randy, thank you. You want to raise your right hand, please, Randy? You solemnly swear the evidence you shall give before this development review board shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
Yes,
Thank you. So do we have this plan I've got has a May 30th, 2025 date. That can't be right. Has this been updated and I'm not seeing it? We have an update date on this?
Yeah, it was received, it was updated in March.
You see it on the plat though?
No. It was revised March 2nd, 2026, but that needs to be put on the plat. It's in the how the file's saved, which is not on the plat. In the
I'm
digital,
looking at the other, so we have, how many plats here? We have,
just 2.
okay. So the first one shows both subdivisions on both sides of 116. And drawn by Seth Kittredge. Give us the date of revision again, easy.
3/6/26.
So 3/6/26. So that's gotta be on there. Okay. Okay, so let's deal with the big 6-lot subdivision first. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 lots down in the southern border, and then lot 5 is the big lot, big gray lot, which is conserved, right, Randy?
yes.
And then there's the lot 6 is gonna be, is this, what I'll call the house lot, right? The farm house lot, is that 6? Nope, 6 is here. It has all of that. Okay.
Yeah.
So 6 is the lot that borders 116. Lot E5 is off of, has no access to 116. The one you plan to develop lots 1 through 4, right?
Yes.
Okay, so lot 1, 5.1 acres, lot 2, 5.1 acres, lot 3, 5.1 acres, and lot 4, 19.17 acres.
Correct.
And then there's a detail, second plan for those 4 lots. There's also March 6th.
Yes. Or, yes, March 6th.
Unless I'm missing, no, they still have the May 30th date, 2025, so that's gotta change.
Okay.
So, what I recall from the previous discussions was that it's pretty steep. Going up to get to lot 2 and 3, and you were gonna have the fire chief come out and take a look, right?
Yes, he did.
Okay, so do you have a letter or?
You didn't get a letter from him, right? You just,
Did, yeah, I sent
yeah.
it to you guys, yeah.
yes, I do have a letter. It was in a previous, it was in the preliminaries
Yeah.
materials.
Yeah, it was approved by, right.
Mhm.
Yeah, but I can't see here where. Did he make any turnarounds, or did you just said it's not too steep?
There should be a Y on that new map to the turnaround. Right here is the Y for the turnaround.
So it's going into the building envelope for
Yeah.
lot 3.
Yeah,
Okay, so this is right here. That's the turnaround.
yeah.
Okay.
And I do have the letter from Brett.
Okay, what's it? You just read it into the record if it's not too long.
Sure. The following outlines the requirements of the endorsement. The access road shall extend to within 50 feet of at least one exterior door of each structure that can be opened from the outside and that provides access to the interior of the building. The access road shall be provided such that any portion of the building is located not more than 150 feet from the access road. The access road shall have unobstructed width of not less than 20 feet. The access road shall have an unobstructed vertical clearance of not less than 13 feet 6 inches. The access road shall be designed and maintained to support the imposed loads of fire apparatus and shall be provided with a surface suitable for all weather driving capabilities. The access road shall not be obstructed in any manner, including by the parking of vehicles. The access road shall be provided with approved provisions for the turning around of fire apparatus. The proposed design of access road is defined as a Y turn, therefore the minimum length of the Y shall be equal to or greater than the longest fire apparatus, which is Bristol Fire Department's engine number 2, which is 38 feet long. Ooh.
Hence the 40-foot turnaround in the previous application.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so there's a lot of requirements in there, Randy.
Yes.
Do you understand them, do you think?
Yes.
So what's the surface going to be for the right of way, for the driveway?
What type of gravel?
Yeah, I mean, so it's gravel one.
Uh,
With the bait, you're just putting gravel down, or is
Yeah,
gravel
it's
already
gravel.
there?
Yeah, yeah. Just their standard road, landscape fabric, road gravel.
So what's the base? Did he say anything about how substantial road it's gonna be? Fire trucks are heavy and it's a hill. Base with fabric, then top coat, top dressing.
Yeah, actually didn't
Okay,
propose anything, yeah. And that's several years from now. We're not going into that right now.
well, I am, but
Yeah.
nobody's gonna come back and,
Yeah.
so what's your plan for the road specifications, we'll call
I have no exact plan for the road specifications at this moment.
it? Well, how are you gonna build that road when the time comes, so that the fire trucks can get up there?
Well, it might not ever happen. So the parcels are being
I
subdivided to
get
be
that,
full.
but here we are.
Yeah,
And there's a requirement from the fire chief to do a whole bunch of things to make the road accessible. So I'm asking you what you're gonna do, because we're gonna put it in the permit,
I'm just putting standard road gravel in.
which means what? What's the base?
I honestly don't know.
You could follow the AOT standards,
Yeah,
AOT standards are pretty, R71,
for, residential, their standards for access. And then,
is it RT71?
no, it's B,
We need to have something for you to guide you.
un momento.
yeah, whatever the guidelines are. in AOP.
It's B and,
From the way he wrote it, I was surprised he didn't reference something, so I was like,
Yeah.
okay, what are we gonna, what's Randy gonna do?
it's B71, I want to say. Yep.
Okay.
B71.
It's AOT, AOT B71.
Correct.
All right, so that'll give you some guidance as to how you build the road. I think it's got the fabric requirement in it, but I think it's got something about that for base.
Sure,
And then get fabric on top, one called top coat, top
Yeah.
coat, so even though it's gravel, not pavement.
Yeah,
And AOT also does that for your access.
But that's isn't that R71, RT71 or something like that? Maybe not. I thought I had different because they have the culverts and the apron, and I
Mhm.
think that's a different standard, but I'm not 100% sure. Okay, so we've got a greenhouse existing on lot one. What's the plan with the mobile home on lot one, Randy?
it's been removed.
It's gone?
Yeah.
All right, let's get it off the plan. Okay, so
You know, someone, you have an extra one.
Oh, no, it's okay. I'll put it right there.
Like I said,
Oh, yeah, I mean, if I can take it, sure, yeah,
It's
yeah.
extra.
Sorry, I thought it was 100 feet.
And I
So I'm a little confused about the building envelope. Just past the mobile home, looks like we've got something on both sides of the driveway.
Yeah, those are both building envelopes, so it could be one or the other. There isn't one. Like,
Okay, well, you understand you're gonna get one principal building. You've got the greenhouse, you're gonna get one house on lot
Mhm.
one.
Yeah, yeah,
But you've got two choices apparently for building envelopes.
Mhm.
But I've heard those metrics like the chief put in this one before, maybe he's put them in the other ones about the distance to the front door and how the
Mhm.
part of the building can be whatever he said
Mhm.
off it, so you gotta keep that in mind. Has he typically said those? Okay,
Yeah. His letters are pretty standard these days.
okay, well, it's good to have them in the record, and that would be a condition. So you've also got two building envelopes on lot two
Yes.
to choose from. And then also, no, three, you just have one building envelope,
Yes,
and four, you have one.
right.
Okay. So lot one is 5.1 acres, lot two is 5.1 acres, lot three is 5.1, and lot four is 19.17.
Yes.
Okay. So all lots two, 3, and 4 will need access easements over lot one when you convey them, so they can get to the road. We got a 35-foot right of way. Anybody have any other questions or see any other issues that we ought to be discussing?
When we talk easements, isn't it that each lot will need easements over the preceding lots?
Yeah, two needs an easement over one, and so two is, in more speak, is both benefited and burdened by the easement. It has to allow lots 3 and 4 owners to go over it, but it also gets the benefit of lot one. So lot 4 isn't burdened by the easement, but lots 2 and 3 are, and lot 1 is. But lots 2 and 3 also need access, and so they're benefited and burdened. But that's
So it kind of gets written into one though.
Yeah, you say it, right, it'll reference, when the G is drafted, it'll reference the survey, we don't need to control what your lawyer will do it, but it'll say that, for instance, lot 2 is both benefited and burdened by the easement for ingress and egress over, that's set forth on the plan. Okay. Any other questions for Randy or issues to discuss? Okay, let's take one at a time now, then, you good?
Yeah, I just lost my Zoom. Not the
So
actual
like losing
Zoom.
your mojo?
Depends on the night.
Okay. Is he a Zoomless at present? So I'll move that we approve the 6-lot subdivision and with the conditions that the 2 plans be updated to bear a March 6, 2026 date.
Oh, I'm correcting that. It's March 2nd.
Okay. March 2nd, 2026 date. Or we'll just say the actual date of submission, which we think is March 2nd. The mobile home on the final plat shall be removed from both plats. The other condition is that the road is constructed according to the requirements set forth in Chief LaRosa's letter dated.
November 10th, 2025.
And that the road be constructed according to
B71.
ALT standards BT-71A.
Just B-71.
No T?
No T.
Okay, B-71A.
Yes.
And we have a 40-foot vehicle turnaround on lot 3. Any conditions I missed? Okay, so that's the motion. Need a second?
Second.
Any discussion or questions for Randy? All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
5-0, so we've got the 6-lot taken care of.
Yeah,
Now, what do we have for the, so is this one plat, the only plat for lot 2? For the second 2?
Correct.
Okay. All right, so that's gonna have the date of March 2nd then,
Both are.
the front one, the first one.
Oh, yeah.
It's one plat.
Yeah.
Now, do you want a plat with just the 2 lots on it?
No, I don't feel like, because if you look, they're labeled west and east.
Yeah.
Because there's
it's unusual to have 2 different subdivisions on one plat, but we can do it. We just have to be reference it. So the record's gonna reflect that the 6-lot subdivision has the designations. The numbers are preceded by an E, which stands for east.
Mhm.
All right, so the 2-lot subdivision on the west side of 116. Lot West 1, W1 is 69.02 acres. And it's all protected, is that right, Randy?
Yes, it's conserved.
Okay. And then lot 2 is lot W2 is 105.4 acres. And so we have 2 different right-of-ways, Randy?
Yes, well, one on the east side and one on the west side.
Well, I got 2 right here.
the 20-foot wide west right
Is
of
there
way.
one right-of-way that goes like this and then comes back?
Yeah. This is just a wraparound. It's 2 log trails to access up in here.
So okay, so, I mean, these are not gonna be developed because they're conserved.
Right, yeah.
So you've got 2 existing, the plat shows 2 existing log trails.
Yeah, and it's just one off from 116.
That goes through the farmstead complex.
Yes.
So when it says that farmstead complex, it's are there two farmstead complexes according to this, or is it just one that happens to be on both sides of the road?
Just one on both sides of the road.
Okay. So on the east side of the road, we have a farmstead complex with a house, with two houses
Yes,
and two greenhouses.
yes,
Okay. And the right of way is going to come off of 116 over the farmstead complex, just north of the house, of the two houses, is that right?
yes,
Is there a drive, is there an access to the road there now, a highway access?
yes,
Okay, so it's existing,
yes.
so you don't need a curb cut.
Okay. Is there an existing bridge across the
Yes.
stream? And how substantial is that bridge?
That's good.
For what? A logging truck?
Not a logging truck, no,
No.
yeah. But you can drive tractors and bulldozers over it. You wouldn't want to drive a skidder over, you get a temporary bridge for that, yeah.
And then it says utility right of way per plan noted in 2H and as shown as approximate, no width given. So is there power lines or something that goes up this road, Randy? It calls it utility right of way.
No, it's just a logging road. Yeah. No power.
Why is it a utility right of, well, maybe it exists.
It's a utility easement.
Yeah, for the power company?
So the right of way off from 116 has a power pole that
Yeah.
runs power to the sap tank that Trent, the neighbor, leases.
Yeah.
There's our own machine.
Does it go, is that up on lot W1 or W2?
No, it doesn't go
Yeah.
up, it's on W2, because W2 starts on the east side of the highway,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. But it doesn't go across the river and up into the woods.
Well, it's in your deed chain. 20 foot. West right away. So 144/87, I think that's an 877. That's a book and page number for the deed. And the plans noted in 2H and 2L. The location of said right of way is approximate and presumed to be centered on the existing Woods Road. So there's an existing deeded right of way to probably to GMP at this point, I would guess. Just by language, so
Yeah, and that should just be from, just off the road to the bridge, off 116 to the bridge, for GMP.
I'm trying to pick up those notes here and I'm not seeing them.
They're all up in the upper left.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking, but it says 2H and 2L.
2H is plan entitled Vermont Land Trust, Fuller R Farm, Town of Bristol, Addison Com, prepared Vermont Land Trust dated June 2024.
But it doesn't mention the utility right away. Well, they're both reference linkage is reference to the land trust documents from June of 2014. So whatever they say. So what's your since these are both conserved, what was your thinking for dividing them?
Was the way that the easements were lined out for the subdivision, and then to make the farm homestead smaller, more manageable.
On the west side of the road?
Yeah, on the west side. It's just a conserved wood lot that we lease tabs on.
Yeah, no, I just wondered why you're bothering to subdivide it since it can't be, well, one can't be developed.
Just to decrease the size of the farm. Yeah.
So maybe you could sell that to a sugar or something like that down the road.
Sure, yeah.
Okay, we've got a stream. Approximate location. That's Baldwin Creek that runs through the property.
Yes.
Any questions for Randy about the two lot subdivision on the west side of 116? Well, it's, tell us about the existing right of way, across the Farmstead complex. What, is it just the dirt road?
On the
West side, yeah.
the west side, it runs parallel to the driveway. It's a road that was existing for the field.
Okay, so there's a driveway north of the house that's not shown here?
Yeah,
Okay,
which is right next to that, right away. In between it, there's a ditch, so there's the house driveway, then a ditch, and then the right of way.
Is that right away developed?
No, sorry. Or, sorry, what do you mean by developed?
Is it passable road?
Oh, yes, the right of way off from 116 to the
Yeah.
bridge is, yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
And so that's an improved gravel road.
Mhm.
so there's not gonna be houses up. And the Farmstead complex is part of lot W2, is that right?
Yes,
So it's not, we're not, I guess the,
frontage.
what's that?
It's got plenty of frontage.
Yeah, right, so we don't have to have anything particular about the road to the bridge, especially since those lots aren't going to be developed, they're conserved, there's not gonna be houses up there. Any other questions for Randy?
And so the thought behind dividing this area into two lots is that it would be easier to sell it.
yes, yep.
Sense.
Okay, I'll move that we approve the two lot minor subdivision on the west side of 116, and it's the set forth on what I'll call the master plan that shows the 6 lot subdivision on the east side of 116, which is a plat prepared by Set Kittredge dated March 2nd, 2026. And so with the condition that the plat be updated to bear that date. You're also gonna pull the mobile home off this lot too. Get rid of that, okay?
Yes, yeah, with that in mind, do you need a new date since it's being updated again?
No, because it's not in front of us, it just,
Okay.
well, it doesn't matter, I guess, I mean, it's certainly been changed. Well, that's a fair point, Randy. So it'll be conditioned on the revised plan bearing the date of, the date of submission that shows the mobile home removed. On both of those plats that were submitted on March 2nd, but it's a good point. I think that should just update and change the plat dates and send it to Easy.
Okay.
Good?
Yeah.
Any discussion? All those in favor of approving the 2 lot subdivision? Okay, Randy,
All right,
thank you, sir.
yeah, thank you. Guys have a good night.
All right,
I'll email you, Randy.
Well, you think?
okay. Last up, we have permit number 26-300. Thomas Funk and Elizabeth Maher of Many Waters Road. Parcel number 090186, requesting conditional use review for an accessory structure within the flood hazard overlay district, which triggers UDR Section 808, among others.
Mhm.
Hello,
Hello.
did I butcher your name?
No.
No, well, I know I got funk.
Got
Mom.
mine, exactly. Unusual.
Okay, raise your right hand. The evidence you show, do you solemnly swear that the evidence you shall give before this development review board shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Thank you. Okay, Izzy, take us through,
Um,
since I haven't seen it. And so, as you will recall, board, our ordinance requires, because it involves national floodplain, our ordinance requires, to get blessed by, the uh, agency of the state of Vermont, A&R, that handles such things. That fellow's name is Kyle Medash, who has jurisdiction in our area. And it's very important so that Bristol can remain part of the National Flood Program. So we need blessing from the state that it's the proposal is okay, even though it's in the floodplain, and they look at things like, can the water flow through? Are you displacing water and thereby effectively raising the flood? Is it gonna pick up things and send them downstream that are gonna crash into somebody and cause a problem, that sort of thing, so. So the proposal is, who's gonna take us through here? You got an outbuilding that you wanna build?
Yeah, we're replacing or hope to replace this structure,
Okay, so that's an existing structure.
Yeah.
How long's that been there?
47 years.
Okay. How's this one in size compared to that one?
It's shown in this drawing, it's bigger. It's a one car, currently it's sort of a one-car garage, and this would be a two-car carport, so that's the L-shaped thing is the current building, and that's the footprint of the new.
The square around it is this,
Yeah.
okay, so look, plan, okay, so on A2, progress at A2, we've got, you see the existing building, which is an L, and the square that is kind of a rectangular square that surrounds the L building, and that's the proposed new,
Yes.
the footprint of the proposed new building. What are we calling this, a garage, two-car garage?
Like, yeah, or carport.
Carport, new carport.
Besides.
Okay. And, so we've got looks like we've got an open back and. What's the
Yeah, there's some slats on the back wall for hanging tools and stuff, but
Yeah.
it's generally open timber frame structure. And
And
you've
so
got our
what-
architect here.
What's
too.
the footprint?
Um,
I just want to write.
34 by 26.
Okay. Okay, and we wrote up the letter to send to the state for their blessing.
Yes, sir.
All right. Okay,
And for the record, I'm Adam Ginsburg.
I am.
and the reason I know this got Kyle's approval is because I sent the application stuff and he said more information. And then I asked for more information.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Well, we have Kyle satisfied, that's all we need. Electrical service 4 feet above slab, secured to the concrete slabs for flotation. It's open to the flow of water, right? Essentially, so. It doesn't displace water and increase flood height. Three FEMA certified 8x16 bi-directional flood vents. Where are those at? Oh, I see. Cool.
There's an enclosed storage area to the,
Also, that allows passage of the water through the
Yeah,
enclosed
it's
area.
in this structure, and AZ provided us the FEMA regs, so
Okay,
we sourced that, and that's
Okay.
apparently FEMA approved, and if we did 3 of them, that would displace more than the 250 square feet of area.
excellent.
and a little background too on what zone they're in and the reason why.
Yeah, sure.
They're in an unnumbered aid zone, which
What
means
number?
unnumbered.
Unnumbered, right? Okay.
A zone, which means there is no base flood elevation data from FEMA. And in these zones, accessory structures, you can either, well, if there's no base flood elevation, how in the world are you going to raise 2 feet above base flood elevation? And FEMA recognizes this and allows for accessory structures to be wet proofed instead of raised above elevation. And wet proofing is flood vents, securing things with proper materials that are flood resistant, all sorts of other fun stuff.
Yeah.
Um,
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't think we've had an unnumbered zone before.
no,
We've done a few of these, but there's always, that's a first. I didn't know we had such things.
it's really just many waters.
It's-
It's many waters. There's there's the main flood plain that goes
Yeah.
down the river. And then many waters has this little like comma of an area. And that's all unnumbered A zone, and it's not because of the river flooding, it's because of the runoff from the slopes of the cliff, which would act as a torrential.
Yeah, it's a channeler.
Mhm. So there's no really any base flood elevation because there's no real river, but it is in a flood zone.
But it could send it over downstream if we got a big one like we had in 98. Okay.
Mhm.
Any questions from the
Yes.
board for these folks? Go.
Yeah, so what are you doing, in constructing this building that mitigates the risk?
Everything in the letter.
Just
we
read the letter.
sent, yes, shall I read the letter?
You don't have to read it, but you can
No.
identify. Do you have the letter, Ted?
I don't. Thank you. All right.
I'm sorry, I took yours and had your notes.
Wrote on it already.
Well, the entire structure is unheated, uninsulated. The portion of structure is secured to concrete slab, prevent flotation, collapse, lateral movement of the structure in the occurrence of flooding. Flood vents to minimize risk of water damage that Tom referred to. Electrical services will be at least 4 feet above the slab. Carport frame constructed east or white pine, except for the 5 post, white oak. Post full 8x8. Siding, dressed pine boards fixed directly to timber frame. Application allow the siding to dry on both sides of underwater exposure. Storage structure. Area 260 square feet, 3 FEMA certified 8x16 bidirectional flood vents. Installing east, west, and south walls. Totaling 384 square inches of openings. Exceeds 260 square feet. 2 units specified by FEMA. Flood vents installed less than 1 foot above grade.
Hey, what's the roof composition?
It would be a galvanized, like a standing seam, I think.
Has this area ever actually flooded before?
No.
It doesn't, so it doesn't flood with the, I guess snow melt or rain coming down, rain.
No, no, the site does not, our property is about 7 acres and the far eastern part where the riverbed is, does flood seasonally, but this area does not.
How long you been on the property?
32 years.
Okay, so you were there in 98 when we got the
Yeah.
massive.
Yeah, we live
Massive
right next
rain.
door to Linda Lana and the berry farm.
Yeah, so when we get
Okay.
3 inches in 20 minutes or something like
Yeah.
that, it was.
Yeah, I was just looking up that you guys are close to the berry farm, because I know it was only a year or two ago, I think, that they had the flooding.
Oh, those big summer rains in
Yeah.
24, yeah, and then in December, yeah, those were really big. Well, we got through those.
Yeah, we
okay.
have one of our neighbors here too.
I drove through that flooding on their driveway, there was water on it, but then once you get to the end where the buildings are and there's existing buildings all dry,
Great,
even in that
So-
flood.
you shouldn't have anything to worry about.
And I think this structure is a lot safer and sturdier and more flood proof than what's there now.
Well, the other one did the job for 47
Yeah,
years, that's
yeah.
kind of good. There's been several Irene, well,
Mhm.
98 was one where we got
Yeah.
concentrated, storm that really flooded out downtown Bristol, but. And this one we lost the Twin Bridges, there's one of the Twin Bridges.
Both.
Both, yeah.
Mhm.
Any other questions for these folks?
Looks good.
So you've got something to get in the record. What do you have from Kyle blessing this?
Email communications.
What
Me dash. My dash.
does he say? Approve?
He said, thanks for checking in the letter from the architect dated 3/18 addresses some of my previous comments, but it would be helpful to address the flood vents and the flood resistant materials. So he basically said, everything's great. I just want to know more about the flood vents and the flood resistant materials.
So has that been provided?
Yes, in this letter.
So
And
this is, the letter is in response to Kyle's email
correct.
of what date?
The date of that email is March 24th.
Okay.
And I sent him all the application materials on the 23rd of March.
Before he sent the letter?
Well, that's actually how it's supposed to go. I'm
I
supposed
know.
to, yeah.
Yeah, I know, but if he asked for additional info on the 24th, you gave him additional info on the 23rd, they pass in the ether?
Well, there's an original letter in the original application. And I provided that original letter that was dated March.
Mentioned that letter after we got the ask for the flood vents, we researched.
Yeah,
those flood vents.
so Adam authors this letter dated April 2, and that's been sent on to Kyle?
Oh, no, no, this letter has not been, but Kyle said essentially if the flood vents and the flood resistant materials are covered in the application
Okay,
and they meet the FEMA standards, that's,
he will approve it.
yeah.
Okay, so he still has to do it anyway, but we have to send, all right, so we have to send this on, send it on to Kyle. Can you do that
Yeah,
tomorrow?
Yeah.
Or soon, so, because the way the ordinance is written, there's like a 30-day clock.
Mhm.
And if, so our decision has to, it's 30 days from when he gets gets the information. And chances are we don't hear anything.
Mhm.
30 days passes, then our approval is good. So it's a window for the state, to act. You can guess how often the state acts within 30 days.
Mhm.
You know, so that's how it goes. We have to just jump these hurdles with the FEMA stuff.
these regulations, right?
I know, but we have to send him that, and then maybe he'll say, yeah, that's fine, or maybe he won't say anything for 30 days, but after 30 days, if he's had everything,
Well,
it's essentially deemed approved,
this is my, I guess,
or at least that's how it used to work.
yeah, this is, I guess, my little,
Which one are you,
Further.
808?
yeah, 808. Upon receipt of a complete application for proposed development that requires review by the Development Review Board, the zoning administrator shall submit a copy of the application and supporting information to the State National Flood Insurance Program coordinator at the Vermont Agency of Natural Resources or to an approved designee in accordance with 24 VSA, section 4424.
Yep.
A hearing shall not be scheduled less than 30 days from the date the zoning administrator submits the application to A&R. And then,
Yeah, but then the next
And then-
paragraph is what matters.
yeah,
Permit may be issued only after following receipt of comments or the expiration of 30 days from the date the application was submitted. If he asked for additional information, we gotta measure that from when we gave it to him.
okay,
So you fire the April 2nd letter off tomorrow if you can,
yep,
and that'll start that clock going. And sometimes we've submitted the additional information requested and have heard yeah, that's fine, and sometimes it's been radio silence, and it's just, either way, if that's what happens and it's 30 days, then it's we as the town, our permit is okay. If we give a permit without the state's blessing, they get cranky.
So do you vote for whether you will permit?
We're gonna do that. Anybody have any further questions for these folks? Okay, I'll move that we approve the application to build this carport in the unnumbered flood overlay district, where base flood elevation cannot be determined. And AZ will, I don't think there are any conditions, we just have to wait the requisite time period. AZ will get the additional information requested that Adam provided on April 2nd. She'll get that down to Kyle Mead just as soon as possible, and that'll start the clock. So so it's just a straight up motion to approve the application with the additional information provided with Adam's letter dated April 2nd, 2026.
A second.
Any further discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Enjoy your carport.
Thank you
Just
so
gotta-
much.
Thank you very much.
Appreciate it.
Sorry, I haven't seen those vents before.
Yeah, we learned a little bit too.
I was impressed, there is a flood, that carport is going to stay there.
Your cars might not.
Everything else may be gone, the carport's still gonna be there. Thank you very much.
Thanks, guys.
As always.
Good job.
Thanks for doing this job too, guys.
Well, we'll do get
I've
back down
said,
to the meeting.
I really appreciate it. 5,000, yes, you're highly compensated. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
The funny thing is, you don't get paid more for being chair.
I know, I should.
All the
Thank you.
feelings and everything that you,
Should that.
I'm grateful for that.
Oh, yeah, it happens a little bit, but not really.
Easy. I look forward to catching up with you down the road.
Oh,
Sure, I'll
absolutely.
pass it across. I don't think we ever formally met, but I look forward to working with you in the future.
Lovely. I'm excited for it.
Thanks for doing the job.
Thanks,
Yeah,
Adam.
thank you.
Okay, I'll move that we go into deliberative session now on the Federated Church sign. What do you second me?
Second.
All right, all those in favor of deliberative session?
I,
Aye, 5-0. Okay, we have concluded our deliberative session on permit number 26-502, which is a request for approval for an LED sign on the Federated Church of North Street. I will, based on our discussion, I will move that we deny the application for because the application runs afoul of section 740 subsection 2, section 742 subsection 2, and section 747 subsection 2 as so those are the main reasons. We also concluded that the existing sign is not a landmark sign. I guess that's it. Need a second?
And if it wasn't if it was a landmark sign, that would give us more latitude.
We could go forward. Yeah, it's just another way to go forward, but
So if it's not a landmark, it's, that it's a done deal. It doesn't fit the requirements.
oh, we still have to give a permit to a landmark sign because this was a change. It would be a change to the sign.
Mhm.
I think landmark's just another kind of pre-existing
And
status, but
also, isn't the one he suggested larger than what is presently there? Or-
yeah, that's 740.
No, but I mean, even if it was a landmark sign,
Yeah,
you
but-
probably want to keep it the same size.
Well, we have a lot of, a permit is we can waive any dimensional or other requirements if it were a landmark sign. But still require a permit for change in wording or appearance, so. Even if we were willing to bestow the landmark label, it wouldn't really tell us anything.
Right.
You know, it wouldn't have any particular automatic consequence. It's just another word for a pre-existing sign in my book. Anyway, that's the motion. Any debate? Anybody want to articulate anything further? I think in summary, at least my view, and I think probably the view of others, is that it just doesn't fit in this area on North Street. It's just out of character. is, and the other, regulations as well, but it's at least for me, it's a fit problem.
So you're thinking even if you got a sign that was only 6 square feet,
If it was LED.
there was LED, you'd still say no.
Yeah, I think so, yeah, because, yeah, I don't, in that place, yes, out at Mount Abe, okay, but not downtown, not in the old village.
Understand.
That's my personal view.
Where
Anyway.
it's 6 square foot, I might very well approve of it. Even if it was LED, because what would you put on a 6 foot LED sign?
Probably quite a bit,
That's
I
it.
move the question.
yeah. Did I get a second?
Second.
All right, Rebecca seconds. Any further debate?
No.
All those in favor of denying the application, for the reasons stated, say aye.
I,
5-0. Thank you, folks.
we need
Oh,
to
yeah,
make-
yeah, okay, so we got the minutes of the 24th. I got a problem with those.
Uh-oh.
Rarely do I.
Uh-oh.
Not a problem, but I think they're incomplete. And they need to be beefed up. So I've got my notes. I think they should reflect what the applicant, now it says like the garage in 2008. Yeah, okay, but
Oh, talking about Briggs.
yeah.
Yep.
Um,
Uh,
So, let's see, he says, my notes say, and I think we want this history in there accurately, because
Yep.
what the minutes say now isn't accurate.
mhm.
He had a garage permit that's true. But the, testimony was the garage of the apartment went in 2007. The application that we've got on file is just for the garage.
Correct.
So there was never a permit. Since and they were, at least one of them was a bit on their high horse about how unfair, well, they got it. The town was never told, as far as we can tell, that there was an apartment going above that garage.
Where in the minutes are you seeing that? The
Second page,
second page,
or third
Third
page,
page, yeah.
third page, actually, second paragraph from the.
Yeah, it says,
provided the
permit for
history.
the garage had been issued in 2006 and 2008, permit for the deck off the garage in 2012, and the house in 2021. What's missing is that the garage and the apartment were constructed in 2007, and the permit was issued in 2008 just for the garage. It was a renewed permit, but it didn't approve the apartment, which was, at that time, would have been an accessory dwelling to the mobile home. And then in 2000,
Was that there?
well, it actually says garage with apartment 2007 completed in 2013.
I don't write down.
Yeah.
But there's no, the point is that I want in there is that there's no permit for the apartment over the garage.
Heard.
And the house was built in 2022. 2022. I don't know what Chris knew. But anyway, it's, they ended up with, as far as there's nothing indicates the town was aware that they didn't get a permit for that apartment, which is part of the problem now. Now they have 3 residential units on one. lot. I think we ought to just get that in there.
Yeah, I'll make sure that I'll add that in before I change it from draft to approved. I'll add it in after that to just say confirm that a permit for a garage has been issued in both 2006 and 2008.
2006, it was like renewed in 2008.
And renewed in
because
2008.
Because of the 2-year, it wasn't built within 2 years, so it was renewed in 2008, but it was just you've got the files, just a permit for the garage.
Yep.
And, the apartment, my notes say it was completed, graduate apartment completed in 2013. So I don't know when they actually put the apartment in, but they didn't get a permit.
Yep. All right, I'll make that note and then I'll.
Anybody else have any other revisions to the 2024,
Best I can tell,
March 24th?
Best I could tell, it looks good.
Okay.
A lot of words to skim on.
We good? Everybody ready to go home?
Yeah.
When's it, and we're back on the, when,
28th.
28th?
If you're
Are you beating us up again on that one?
Do we need
No.
Do we need to approve these or just?
Oh, yeah, why don't we? I moved to, yeah, you're right, thank you, I'm tired. So I moved to approve the minutes of the 24th of March with the change discussed about greater clarity on the absence of a permit for the apartment.
Gotcha.
Second.
Second.
All those in favor?
Hi.
All right, closes off.
Cool.
Thank you.
Are we out?